Guten Morgen, Lieblings. Okay, so we have, is it sunny where you are? Yeah. So why don't we start sitting and we'll check in, we'll do a little breathing and a little chanting. And um, today I want to leave a little, maybe just a little more time than we sometimes do for just a little more extensive pranayama, which I think will be helpful, interesting. So I'm going to share the screen again. All right, but before we do that now, let's just take a moment to land from whatever we were doing before and feel the physical reality of our bodies and the contact of our bodies with the ground, really. So through the chair, the cushion, the floor, feeling the reassuring draw of gravity. And then some awareness of the space around our bodies. And if you'd like to, you could place, we could use hasta nyasa, so the placement of the hands. So one hand could be on the chest, sometimes it could be a little higher, a little lower, and then the other hand on the low abdomen. And just welcome breath into awareness, letting it move from the background to the foreground of our awareness. Perhaps a sense that the inhalation opens from inside us in all directions. And the exhale can be both a letting go and also when we activate the belly in, there's a kind of direction to it, perhaps. One or two more breaths like that. Good. And then let's have the hands at the heart and let your top hand move first, the hand that's on top. Inhale, let your arm open, whatever angle is pleasing to you. Exhale, return. Then the hand that's underneath can escape and do a similar thing. Good, and then both. Good. And now do that again. One arm, the other, and then both. On the inhale, there might be a subtle sense of arching or opening in the front. And on the exhale, it could be a kind of bowing or even a slight curve, a C curve of the spine. Do what your body directs you to do. Good. And after you've done that series, you can just let the hands release and we will chant. So we have the one of the 12 qualities of the sun, Surya, translated in this way as the one who activates. What is the energy that activates us to do something? Something like that. So let's just do one long Om to connect to voice freely. Om. Do one more and pay particular attention to the humming part of Om. One more like that. Good. Now listen. Namah. Repeat. Namah. 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 Please listen. Suryaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. Listen. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. One more time. Om Suryaya Namaha. Very good. Let's come to our hands and knees. Actually, yeah, let's try this today. And if this, what I propose, doesn't work, do hands and knees back and forth like we often do. So let's start in a child's posture or kneeling forward bend with our hands resting. Well, one of two places. Either you can rest the back of your hands on your low back or the back of your pelvis, or you can have your hands by your feet, or have your hands down by your head. If there's weight in your head, then put your hands down where you're comfortable. Golden Valley. I think hands around your head, more on the ground. Let's try that. Yeah. Okay. So now, as you inhale, you're going to raise your arms from the side, sweep them overhead as you stand on your knees. Hopefully, this is okay to begin with. Exhale, reverse that. Sweep your arms wide and back to where you started. Okay. So like that. Inhale, opening, raising. Yes. Exhale, bend forward. Yeah. Yeah, this can be, as someone is doing very smartly, could be done in a chair if the knees are not happy or the ankles. A couple more times. Hello, morning. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. All right, good. When you finish that, let that settle and then bring your hands on the floor. So you're in the kneeling forward bend, but bring your hands, slide them a little farther away so they're in a place so you could do all fours arch. Okay, so as you inhale, come to all fours, lift the chest, exhale back to where you started. Let's begin that way just a couple times. Yeah, good. Inhale, little opening of the front. Feel the weight in the arms, enlivening, activating the arms. Exhale, bow. Beautiful. Now you can continue like this, or we can add something. So inhale all fours. If you're ready, downward dog. And don't try to push to a maximum. Just kind of go in that direction. Yeah. And then come back down. Inhale, lower the knees. Lift the chest. Exhale, back to folded place. Good. And try that again. Inhale, lofts the chest. Exhale, belly flows in, heels gently reaching into the ground. Reverse on the inhale, knees to the floor. Or do whatever part of this feels right to you. Yeah, exhale, bow. Then you can go, your timing of breath, go one more time through this, stay a breath if it feels right, if you feel ready in downward facing dog. Mm-hmm. Good. Nice. Okay, and each person will come back eventually to their starting orientation. Okay, and when you finish, could we just for a moment come into sitting, for just a simple sitting for just a moment after that short little introduction? Sometimes a handful of intelligent movements done with awareness and breath can shift everything, right? Just a reminder for us maybe later in the day, but just notice. And if we, in the midst of our challenges and duties of life, if for a moment we just connect to something that feels greater or higher than us, or our highest sense of ourself. And traditionally, one way to do this was to connect to the sun as a symbol of a power, and how many people would start their day every day with connecting to this first. So either feeling or imagining the sun or what it represents to you, the source from which we came. A couple breaths connected to that. And may we connect to that power so we don't have to do it all ourselves. So when ready, you could open your eyes. We can come to standing and we'll explore some movements here. So we'll come to standing and feel the feet. Again, the connection with our body through our feet to the floor, to the ground, to the earth. And let's start with Uttanasana. So we'll inhale, lift the arms from the front. Could be from the sides if that's better for your back. Exhale, we'll bend forward. At first, you may want to bend your knees a little more than usual. And then on the inhale, lift the arms and reverse that, come back up. And at first now, let's just exhale the arms after we come back up, focusing on the abdomen drawing in. Okay, so we'll proceed like that a bit. Inhale, the arms are lifted. Lovely. Exhale, abdomen moves in as I bow forward. Inhale, extend the arms, lift, rise. I rise. Exhale, arms down. Feel your grandeur of your body. Okay, go ahead again like that and stay a breath or two in the forward bend. Okay, there's plenty of time here. Yes, good, lovely. Okay, and then when you come back up, we pause. Very good. Okay, so let's turn out the right foot a little bit and step the left foot forward. We're going to do a vinyasa. We'll do maybe A, B, and C. So A is a warrior. So again, okay, you know, the world of the body is sort of fascinating and endless. And so I'm here in my body, and it's all of its dimensions. And if we think for a moment, I orient myself again to the source. You know, the sun could be it for me, or it could be a symbol of it. And so now I can bring my hands to my chest, overlap like we did in the beginning, feel my feet. Exhale, abdomen draws in consciously. When you feel the inhale underneath your hands inside of you, open and bend the front knee, Virabhadrasana, warrior. Exhale, good. Abdomen comes in and hands come back to the heart. Let's just do that a couple more times. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Inhale, I expand. Exhale, I come back. Nice. When you finish the one you're on, you can release the arms and we step back and we'll try the other side. Yeah. Turning out the left leg, the foot angles out a bit, but not too much, 30 to 45 degrees. Right foot steps forward. If you feel it topsy-turvy at all, have the distance right and left between your feet be bigger, right? So you're not on like a balance beam, but more like two railroad tracks. Let's try this when you're ready. Hands at the heart. And when the inhale is ready, you let that, in a sense, create the movement, the timing, the nature of the movement, oriented towards the sun. Good. Yes. Okay, after about 3 times, or whatever you did on the first side, take your time. You can return, release the gesture, step back, pause. Okay, now we'll add to this. We'll add forward bend in the stance. All right, so let's try it just a couple times because we're going to do part C in a moment. So again, would you turn out your right leg a bit, step the left foot forward, feel the imprint of each foot, and especially the back leg kind of shooting or reaching into the ground, especially when we go forward, keep that counter reach down and back, okay? Very nice. Let's start the same way, hands to the heart. When the inhale is ready, let it bring you into warrior. Good. Now, exhale, bend forward. You can let your hands sweep behind your back, or the hands can go towards the feet or the floor. Good. And then inhale, come back into warrior, front knee bent. Whee! Good. Exhale, hands back to the heart. How was that? Try that again when you're ready. The inhale opens the heart, expands, radiates outwards. Exhale, hands can sweep either behind the back or go towards the leg, foot, or floor. Inhale, reverse on it. Sweep wide or lengthen into warrior. And exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, so let's just do that twice. Now release, step back. We'll try the other side. I don't want you to be on one leg for too long. That's why we're switching, okay? Erring on the side of support and safety. Let's turn out the left leg, right foot forward, hands at the heart. Let it exhale, leave the body as the kind of root for inhale. When ready, yes, inhale will expand. And explore a similar thing here, bending over that front leg. So your forehead is going towards the front of the leg that is in front. So there's a bit of a side bend, right? And then come back out on the inhale, knee bent, warrior. Super. Exhale back to the heart. And then please go through that one more time at the pace of your breath. It will guide you through this. Keep the eyes open generally, especially if there's any, challenge to balance. Let's use the eyes to help us a bit in the standing. Yep. Just twice, and then let that be. Good. Okay, pause a moment. Woo! Are we okay? Now, so before we do it, let me talk to you before you're in the middle of a compromising position. So the next step, should you accept this challenge or if it's right for you, we'll do the same thing. We'll open it into warrior. We'll bend forward, and this time you'll bend forward. You'll bring the hands to either your thigh or the shin, or if you're bringing your hand to the floor. Then you're going to inhale and you're going to open the arm. The other, how am I saying this? The leg that's behind you, open that arm. So if your right leg is behind, open your right arm. Okay, and we'll stay there for a breath, and then we'll come and bend forward, stay a breath, and come up. Okay, so let's try this. Please turn out your right leg. So your foot angles to about 2 o'clock, if there was a clock on the floor. Step your left foot forward. Hands at the heart. Wait for the inhale. And when ready, let it move you into warrior. Expand the arms. Good. Now exhale, bend forward, reach the arms forward and then down to the ground. Bow your head over that front leg. Now leave your left hand on the floor, your foot, and open your right arm and open to the side. Now stay there for exhale. Draw in the belly. Stay there for inhale, expand the chest. Now when you exhale, close your body and bow your hand and your head and stay there for a breath. Stay for inhale. Nice. Stay for exhale. And then when ready, come into warrior on the inhale. Lift the arms, extend, front knee is bent. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, let's go one more time like that on this side. Inhale, warrior. Feel the back leg shooting into the ground, counter reach. Good, exhale, bending forward. Feel the back heel into the ground as you bend forward. Bow the head. Feel the left hand as an anchor, open the body to the right. Stay, exhale, draw in the belly. Draw your right sitting bone back away from your front heel. Stay for inhale. And when you exhale, bow into the forward bend again. And remain there for a breath cycle, Ujjayi if possible. Good. And then when you inhale, come into warrior, front knee bent. Good. Exhale back to the heart. Okay, when finished, you can release the arms, step the front foot to the back foot. Pause a moment. Okay, quite a challenge. Let's try the other side. Turn out the left leg so the toes will point to maybe 10 o'clock, if there was a clock on the 12 o'clock is right in front of your navel. Right foot forward, hands at the heart. Exhale. Very good. When you feel the inhale, opening, bending the front knee. Exhale, bend forward, bowing over that front leg. Leave the right hand on the floor, foot or leg. Inhale, open. So your chest opens. Good. Stay there. For exhale, abdomen draws in towards your spine. Stay for inhale, chest expands, ujjayi. Yes, when you exhale, bow. And then spend a moment there, breath coming and going. And when the inhale is ready, let that initiate a return to warrior. Yes, you're really getting the flow. Wonderful. And exhale, heart. Okay, very good. Go one more time like this in your own timing. Go ahead when you're ready. Mm-hmm. Good. Whee. Very good. Okay. Super. When you're ready, just step back, pause a moment, feet underneath your pelvis. Yeah. Okay, so let's try this. After all that asymmetry, let's try this. We're going to um, stand with our feet under our pelvis, so simple standing. Can you, I think to start with your hands behind your back, okay, just as a, yeah. So now we're going to inhale and sweep the arms wide to the side and overhead. Now exhale, you're going to bend forward and bring your hands, sweep them to your back again as you bend forward. Okay, now bend your knees more and come into chair. Sweep your arms wide and overhead, lower your pelvis, chair posture. Then exhale, bend forward, sweep your hands behind your back again, Uttanasana. And then as you inhale, come all the way back up, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, arms sweep behind your back. So the arms just keep going, sweeping open and behind and open and behind. Let's try this again. Inhale, arms go wide overhead. Good. Exhale, bend forward, bow your head into the ground, hands behind your back if you can. Good. Inhale, bend the knees more, chair posture, look long and low, strengthening your legs. Good. Exhale, bend forward, sweep your hands behind your back. Inhale, stand up again, sweep wide overhead. Exhale, hands go behind the back. Let's go one more time and we'll stay a couple breaths on the second forward bend, okay? Inhale, sweep the arms wide overhead. Exhale, sweep the arms behind your back as you bend forward, crown into the ground. As you inhale, go into chair, bend your knees more, torso angled forward, look down, long and low, I should say. And exhale, sweep the hands behind the back one more time. Good. Now, on your next exhale, release the arms into the ground and stay for a couple cycles of breathing. If you can continue with or return to the oceanic Ujjayi breathing, Good. Okay. And then when the inhale comes next, sweep the arms wide, come up to standing, and exhale, you'll finish. Good. Rest for just a moment, either with your arms down or you could bring your hands at the heart. Okay, very good. Let's come to hands and knees. And we'll just revisit a portion of our vinyasa from before. Lots of movement today, right? Woo! What activates not only the body, but the imperative of the heart, of your heart in particular. Okay, my heartful ones. Okay, so let's try this now. We're going to start in a child's posture. And when you inhale, let that carry you up to all fours. Feel your palms, your fingers. And then reverse, exhale. Consciously draw the belly in gradually, gently as you bow back into child's posture. Do that one more time, alternating like that. Long inhale, long exhale within your capacity. Good, now we'll add to this. Start the same way, inhaling, all fours, lift the chest, toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, now let the body be active but calm. Stay for a breath. And then reverse the inhale, knees to the floor. When the knees land, the sternum is free, the throat is free. Exhale, I bow my brain, my heart recedes into its cave, and rest a breath or two when you come back to the kneeling forward bend. Very good. Okay, friends, so can we go like that again? Just a couple things you may focus on, either maintaining ujjayi both on exhale and inhale. And then focus when you get to down dog, maybe stay 2 breaths if it's appropriate. Focus on the dynamic stillness of the body. Body relatively still, breath, movement, more vivid. Go ahead when you're ready. Inhale all fours, exhale into dog, stay a couple breaths. Mm-hmm. Very good. When you've completed that, if you could just for a moment, you're going to lie down just a moment, but let's sit just momentarily to receive that. Feel the effects of that in your system. Just easily opening to the aspect of sun and sunlight that activates. You know, that thing where we feel we have to, we push, not that, something that there's a lightness that comes where we're drawn to the imperative of the moment and the heart. We know what to do. Okay, friends, so let's lie down in Shavasana, either bent knees or lengthened legs, for just a moment. Again, receive. If you would like to do finger contact nyasa, where we connect the thumbs first to the index fingers and then middle, ring, and little, and back to index, inhale and exhale at each contact. You could do one or two rounds of that if you want to keep your mind focused. Otherwise, you can just rest in the lovely symphony of sensation of your body. Okay? So as you rest and breathe and feel, I'm going to chant a little bit before we continue. Om Surya Suryaya Suryaya Namaha. Om Surya Suryaya Suryaya Namaha. Now, with your eyes closed, inhaling, imagine a ball of light in your chest, expanding as you inhale. Slightly bow your head so the chin goes a little towards the base of the throat. Leave the head on the ground. Exhale, draw in the belly. So long, full, smooth, ujjayi breathing, this whispered feeling and sound in the throat. Inhale, this ball of light expands in all directions. Pause for a second or two. Soak yourself in this energy, light. Exhale, draw in the belly, draw in the belly, draw in the belly. A couple more breaths like that. Okay. Now, let's transition by, if your legs are extended, please bend your knees, soles of the feet on the floor. And we'll bring the arms in a T position on the floor out to the side, about shoulder height. Do a couple variations of twisting here. So your soles of your feet are on the floor. Bring your feet, so the soles of the feet are on the floor, but bring the inner arches to touch and the inner knees. They're either touching or close, right? So now feel the inhale come in. Keep the breath flowing like you were just practicing. And when you exhale, keep your knees together and your ankles and tilt your legs to one side. Range is comfortable. So that knees and ankles will remain sort of stacked and together. Notice where you feel it in your spine. Then inhale, come back to center. Roll the spine and the back of the pelvis and the soles of the feet back to center. When you exhale, go to the other side. So the legs are like loosely tied together. So we don't let the knees and the ankles separate. Unless this strains you, then separate your feet. Pause. Good. And return on the inhale. Bring the back of the back and the pelvis back to center. Good. Can you go like that now? again on each side. Move into it on the exhale. Pause a little after the exhale. The inhale will help you return to center. Good. When you return to center now, pause just a moment. So you can repeat that, or we can do the next variation is where you start with your knees towards your chest. So you bring your knees towards your chest, your feet are off the ground, your legs are close to each other. Start with your knees a bit towards your chest. And when you exhale, draw on your abdomen, move your knees to the side. Knees go towards your elbow a little bit. Good, now let's stay a breath here. Breath long and smooth in. Chest of light, the ball of light in the chest expands. Stay, exhale, draw on the belly. And then inhale, return to center. Good. Knees towards the chest. As smoothly as possible now, exhale, go to the other side. The abdomen is drawing in as you roll into this twist. Head can remain center or turn a bit in opposition. Pause after the exhale. Now stay here for long inhale, long exhale. On the inhale, when it comes, it will bring you back to center. And can you go like that again on each side, staying one breath cycle in the twist. Go ahead in your own timing of breath, really following your breath pace here, long breathing. Beautiful, good. Take your time. When you come back to center, pause a moment, and we'll do Apanasana. Hands can rest over your knees. If you need an adaptation for the knees, the hands could be behind or simply rest in a symmetrical position. Now, when you exhale, bring the knees towards the chest, elbows bend, shoulders relax. Inhale, knees away, arms lengthen. Do that a couple more times. Several seconds, 4, 5, or 6 seconds to come in towards the chest. Pause a little bit. Inhale, knees away. Beautiful. Okay. Now on an inhale, next inhale, let your feet reach the sky and the arms can extend on the floor either wide or overhead. Urdhva Prasrita Padasana. Exhale, bring your hands back to your knees and then the thighs towards the chest. Alternate like that. If there's a tendency to hurry, notice that and choose to let the body follow the breath, not the lightning thoughts of the mind, right? Inhale, extending spine, arms and legs. Exhale, bending. Super good. Next time you go into this, you could choose to stay a breath. When you stay, the body is alive, it's calm, and you feel the abdomen move in, so the breath movements become more vivid and acute. Beautiful. Exhale, knees to chest. And could you do that one more time? Go into the extended gesture of the body and eyes closed and stay for a long, comfortably long inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And when you come back in, we'll rest a moment. You could step your feet onto the floor and place your hands in your abdomen. And for a moment, no instructions, no particular patterns. We're just open attention. My body is free. My breath is free. My mind is free. My heart is free. And just for a moment as you rest, you could focus your attention into the heart center and just listen. Listen, feel. Maybe it's just quiet for a moment. Or maybe there's a want or a need, a calling of the heart. Just abide for a moment in the heart. Letting that be whatever was there, whatever you encountered was just right. And you could now take your time and roll to one side, and we'll come to sitting. I want to just touch lightly on Janu Shirshasana, or head towards knee posture. You could translate this to a chair if you want. So we're going to sit to start with the legs in front. We're going to bend the right knee and open it. So the sole of your right foot will rest on the inside of your left leg. Could be, inner thigh or up towards the groin. Okay, so one knee is bent open to the side, the other leg is long. You can sit on a cushion or a blanket if you're more comfortable that way. We're not going to stay a long time here. I just want to, so you just kind of take your hands on the hands rest on the left leg thigh. Feel the inhale, expand the chest. When you exhale, slide the hands down the left leg and bow your forehead towards the front of that leg like you did in the standing asana. Okay, and just let's rest there a couple breaths. Mm-hmm. And then, no rush, but on an inhale, you can float the chest back to center, back to sitting. Yeah. Now, could you slide just your left hand along your left leg, left hand, and you're going to keep the spine vertical and then open your right arm up and back. So you're kind of in an open triangle. Yeah. And just rest there. It's rest within the activity, a couple breaths here. Good. And then when you exhale, you can close that. And one more time, just slide and bow over that front leg for a breath or two. Good. And when the breath is ready, let the inhale bring you back to center. Yeah, how's that? Good. Let's try the other side. Extend and switch the arrangement of your legs. If bending forward over this leg is difficult, bend the leg that's extended, bend the knee up towards the sky a bit or a lot. Sometimes I even put a cushion under the bent leg. You'll know, right? So when ready, inhale expands the chest, ribs are alive. Exhale, I slide and bow, and forehead bows towards the front of the long leg. And just we open to acceptance of how far we bend forward. It's not important how far, just resting in the tide of the breath. Mm-hmm. At the end of the exhale, for a moment, the whole world becomes still. And when you're ready, an inhale activates you back to sitting. And then we can slide the back of the hand along the inner right. So right hand sliding towards the inside of the knee or lower leg. And we open the other arm back and up. So there's a diagonal from one hand to the other, from kind of a diagonal from earth to heaven. And you stay there. So reach strongly, but not violently, right? So you're active. Your thumb is towards the heavens. Look towards your hand that's reaching. Yeah, don't hang your head. Let your throat be free and open. Yes. Couple breaths there. Active. Alive. And then, yes, there's a exhale, can close that. And then again, you bow and rest. There's call and response that we do in chanting, but, yoga asana practice is a lot like that. There's a call, and then the body responds with a complementary action. Rest a breath or two here. Super. When you're ready, float to center. Now, use your intuition, yogi's choice. So you could have your legs, long in front of you, or you could cross your legs loosely, or you could bring the soles of your feet together. Whatever shaping of your legs is interesting. And then just bow forward for a couple of breaths in whatever shaping of the leg allows your back to easily release for a moment. If none of those seem to work, you could rest on your back with your knees towards your chest. A couple of breaths here. Mm-hmm. As you're resting in this bow, if you'd like, connect to the source, the higher or greater power or source from which we all come. Eventually let an inhale bring you to sitting, and we'll sit now not with an idea of how we think we should look or be when we're doing yoga, but just that which allows me to be as comfortable as possible. So that could be seated on the floor, cross-legged, or in a chair, what have you. Let's settle for just a moment and feel the reverberation of sensation and response of breath, body, mind. In the quiet, we will know what to do. That's one reason we practice. Okay. Can we now explore breathing? So I just want to, so the right hand, you're going to, we do the mrugi mudra, right? So we're going to bend the middle joints of the index and middle fingers, okay? And the fingers come down towards the fleshy part of your thumb, right? And you're going to use the thumb and the ring finger, thumb and ring finger to, it's like you're playing a wind instrument. We actually are a wind instrument, okay? So let's practice. We're going to bring the thumb and the ring finger pads to first the bridge of the nose, so you feel where the bone is, right? And then you slide down, you'll feel where there's cartilage. Not so far down that you're on the flesh. So it's bone, cartilage, flesh. So in the cartilage, you'll feel it. It's bendy, but not smushy. And the wrist now slightly bends forward and up. There's a slight bend forward and up. Okay. So we're going to stay here. Breathe in Ujjayi. Now close the right nostril and breathe out the left. No Ujjayi. Now stay there, breathing in through the left nostril. And then release, breathe out through both nostrils, Ujjayi. That's half of it. Now stay, breathe in through both nostrils. Close the left, breathe out through the right. Stay there, breathing in through the right. Then breathe out through both nostrils, Ujjayi. It's going to continue like that. Breathe in through both nostrils, Ujjayi sound. Close the right, breathe out left. Stay there and breathe in through that same side. And then breathe out through both. Eyes are closed, head is center. Breathe in through both nostrils, Ujjayi. Close the left, breathe out right. Breathe in the right side. Breathe out both nostrils, Ujjayi. And continue like that now, 4 more breaths. In both, out one, in one, out both. When you complete that and you exhale through both nostrils, release your arm, keep your eyes closed. Allow yourself to sit and feel and be for a moment. Rest for just a moment inside the sanctum of the heart, abiding there for a moment, being, listening. We'll end our practice now by chanting Om 3 times, or if you prefer, it could be another phrase that you resonate with, peace or Amen or something like that. 3 times long Om. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you all very much. So, to whom it may concern, next we continue with this in the Saturday class at 11. And next Tuesday we start a new chanting series. If you feel you want some additional support for these times and you resonate with chanting, that's a possibility. Okay? So, all the best. Always happy to hear from you. Questions, comments, experiences. I'm gonna, you can say goodbye. I'm gonna unmute. Don't have to speak, but I welcome you.
Thank you. That was great. That was great.
Thanks, Ruth.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was lovely.
Who's speaking? Oh, Robin?
Robin. Yeah.
Hi, Robin.
Hi. Yeah.
Hey. Good to see you.
I was up in the attic space, and all the bird sounds through the windows added a dimension that was just delightful.
Oh, yes. I love that when it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Inga.
Can I ask a small technical question?
Oh, sure. I liked your, adaptations. Yeah. I know it's like a search sometimes, but good job.
Which is actually fun, it's kind of exploring, it's learning.
Yes.
In general, in the chair pose,
Yeah.
what happens with the lower back? Do you kind of tend to tuck your tailbone? Because the natural tendency is for the tailbone to kind of stick out and stick up. And so I find myself playing with that and wondering, or do I just play with that?
Yeah. Well, I like exploration in general. I think it's a great thing. And, so in classical yoga asana classification, chair or Ardha Utkatasana, so half squat chair, is Purvatana posture, which means it's a back bend, right? So that means the when that's referring especially to the action of the chest and the thorax, right? So we're there's a sense of lifting the sternum on the inhale. And the low back, I would say you don't want to exaggerate the lumbar curve, nor do you want to tuck. It's kind of a neutral.
Okay.
So I think you could have, so you bend forward, so the low back curve is going to lengthen or reverse. And then when you come into the chair, you're extending from the whole front of the body. There's a feeling of arching, but we don't want to relax the belly completely because then it might kind of dump into the lower back.
Okay.
So we've exhaled and the belly is in, and then we inhale, we expand the chest. There's still the tone in the low belly. So I would say kind of a neutral lumbar pelvic action.
All right.
Neither tucked nor, a strong tilt. And then you have to feel like what feels strong, what feels, safe, comfortable.
Okay. Great.
Does that
Thank you.
help at all?
Yeah, it does. It does. And so did the chanting class yesterday, because I had to deal with two totally separate issues within my little neighborhood. And I just thought, what the chant does, there was a lot of talking about, oh, it's humbling. And the recording is still on, by the way. Is that okay?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.